Hi everybody, well it's come to that time of year where we are looking to do a bit of maintenance ready for the new breeding season. I've had a few people ask me how do I cut the nails on my birds, so I'm going to do a video hopefully showing you the way I do it and the best way of doing it. Now there's 2 or 3 reasons why we cut a bird's nails. One is that if the nails are too long, getting in and out the nest can pull all the nest material out. They can also, when you've got young in the nest, it can hook the birds. The young birds can get hooked out the nest. But one of the main reasons is because these nails get really sharp at the end, they can actually puncture the shell of the egg, and of course the egg is then rendered useless and will be infertile. It won't hatch out. So this is the time just before we start to pair our birds up. We should start looking to do maintenance not only on the cages but also on the birds' feet. Right, so the kit required, various cutters here. You can use nail cutters and nail snips like these, but the ones I like to use, these are actual for cutting cable, and I like these because these are actually flush at the back, so you get a nice clean cut. The other things you will need, just in case you catch a vein, these are, you can buy these from chemists for stopping if you've cut yourself when shaving. You dip them in the water there, and then you just touch them on the end of the claw, and it will stop the bleeding. Of course, being a canary, such a small bird, they haven't got that much blood, and they can bleed quite a bit if you catch the claws. So you've got to be careful when you do this. Now, one of the ways you need is a bright light. I can use a torch. I've just switched the torch on. You can use the sunlight or through a window or anything. But I don't think you'll be able to see this. But actually, when you hold this up to the light, you can actually see through the actual claw, and you can see where the veins are. So you need to cut just before the vein. The vein's there. You don't cut it right to the vein. A bit before, and then you'll have no problem. So you get the bird a nice firm grip, and then just take your cutters just before the end and cut. Now you only really need to cut the really long claws, because if they're small, I don't normally bother. The small ones are not going to bother, and plus it's only the older birds really that suffer with the long nails. Last year's young, they've not been out the nest long enough, and the nails are going to be relatively short and probably don't need cutting this year. But also, while you've got the birds out, you can check their feet. This one probably needs a bit of a wash, a bit of soapy water where they've been grubbing around on the floor. You can check at the rings on the feet are not catching on the legs and they can move. So that's fairly free. Now another thing is a good thing to know about canaries. Older canaries get scales on their legs and feet. A young canary will not have these. So if you're looking to buy a bird and you've gone to a breeder or you've gone to a pet shop and they say, oh, it's a young bird, check the legs. The legs will have scales. Now this bird's is 2 years old this year, and it's starting to get scales. I don't know if you can see this on the camera. It's starting to get scales on its feet. A year-old bird will not have this. You see, I've actually cut the vein a bit there. You can see it bleeding. Just take the stick, you see, and give it a wipe with that, and that will stop it. Normally it would have been best to wash the bird's claws first, so you can actually see it better than what I did there. And actually should have took my time a bit more and just rub that on. It's just a slight, just caught it a bit, and that will stop it. That's all there is to it. I hope this video helps.